The transatlantic slave trade, Africa's deep wounds and lasting legacy. For over 400 years, the transatlantic slave trade tore millions of Africans from their homes, reshaped continents, and built unimaginable wealth for Europe and the Americas, while leaving Africa scarred in ways still felt today. Yet behind the statistics are people, families, civilizations, dreams stolen, and futures rewritten. Today, we dive into the brutal mechanics of this global system and the long, devastating impact it left on Africa. The transatlantic slave trade began in the 15th century when Portuguese ships first reached West Africa. At first, trade centered around gold, ivory, and spices. But as European colonies grew in the Americas, a horrifying new demand emerged: human beings. Europeans turned African coastlines into supply zones, forts, depots, and castles designed for the capture and export of people. African kingdoms, some already engaged in regional warfare, were pulled into a new destructive economy driven by European guns and profit. Across West, Central, and parts of East Africa, raiding parties and armies captured men, women, and children. Entire villages were wiped out overnight. Those captured endured forced marches to coastal dungeons, places like Elmina Castle and Gorée Island, where they were held in cramped, airless cells. Then came the Middle Passage. Crammed into ships with barely enough room to breathe, millions crossed the Atlantic chained together. Disease, starvation, and abuse claimed countless lives. For many, the ocean became a grave. Africa's economic destruction wasn't an accident, it was a feature of the system. By removing millions of young, skilled Africans, the trade robbed societies of labor, innovation, and future leadership. European traders supplied weapons in exchange for captives, which fueled endless cycles of war, destabilizing entire regions. Civilizations like the Kingdom of Congo and parts of the Yoruba and Dahomey states were transformed by conflict, corruption, and shifting power dynamics. While Europe gained wealth and the Americas gained labor, Africa was left with weakened institutions and economies intentionally structured to depend on the West. The slave trade didn't just steal people, it fragmented societies. Generations were separated, lineages ended, traditions and languages were lost as millions were scattered across the world. Some African communities became militarized, others depopulated. Trust between neighboring ethnic groups evaporated as kidnapping and betrayal became tools of survival. This trauma wasn't just physical, it was psychological, spiritual, and cultural, and its echoes remain. By the 19th century, Africa had been profoundly weakened. When European powers initiated the scramble for Africa, they encountered societies devastated by centuries of instability. Colonialism didn't happen in a vacuum, it was built on the ruins left by the slave trade. The same nations that profited from enslaved labor now carved up Africa, exploiting its resources and people once again. Today, the legacy is visible in underdevelopment rooted in centuries of extraction, borders and conflicts shaped by colonial manipulation, global inequalities built on the wealth created by enslaved Africans, diaspora communities still fighting racism, discrimination, and historical erasure. Understanding the transatlantic slave trade isn't about dwelling on the past, it's about recognizing how the past shapes our world right now. Despite unimaginable suffering, Africa and its diaspora endure with resilience, creativity, and strength. By revisiting this history, we honor those who were taken and commit to understanding the system that reshaped the world. If this video helped you learn something new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's continue the conversation in the comments below.